Expo.
Fezosaurus Rex, you want to go with him? I bet she can take you. Hug him. Hug him, baby.
Jim Parker is going to set up for the lump selection. We'll expect him to be climbing on a 45-degree line. Here comes the nose coming up. Now we'll watch him roll from that climbing line into that big plate and then watch the nose of this aircraft. As he starts the lump selection, pushing forward on that thing. Here on the aircraft, coming right up over the nose as he continues in the lump selection. Looks like it's out of control, this, my friend. Fully controlled to the lower wire. Beautifully done. Very precise. Upside down in the okay. Building up his speed. Starting to roll. Continuing to roll. Now holding upside down. As he approaches the wire, he'll start rolling the aircraft from the inverted position. Right to the upper wire. And rolling out. I guess Jim decided with all these winds he was going to hold it in a steady state condition to come through and pick off first the lower wire upside down. And then picking up the upper wire as he comes by. Beautifully done. I think I hear Jim Parker on here. Jim has talked to him, and that's a real good idea to roll it right side up, dropping out of the sky, setting up his slip to a landing in these winds that are now no longer right across right down the runway, but coming slightly across the runway. As you see, he has that wing down into the wind. And he's touching down on the upwind wheel, of course.
Here's the A6 performing. Remember Skyriders? No. $3 tickets for $5 and 3 tickets for $10. Document. You want to order it? We're at the air show today at Quonset Point in Rhode Island, North Kingstown, Rhode Island. We're at the air show. The Rhode Island Air National Guard is putting it on today, but it's awfully windy. It's about 40 to 45 mile an hour wind at the height that they'll be jumping, so they don't want to even go near that. We're taking a break here, so you stay tuned. We'll stay tuned. What happened at that raffle table? What the guy said?
Walked by, there was a guy sitting in front of a wheelbarrow full of alcoholic beverages, as it were, and the guy was like this. The guy was like this. He said, "You want to win some booze?"
From the folks that came to the air show with you, we'd like you to come down here to the announcing stand area.
The F-15 Eagle, I guess.
The gentleman, the F-15 Eagle, frontline fighter aircraft of the United States Air Force. Eagle is known as the fighter pilot's fighter.
center. Captain Donovan will show you what good training and good equipment to do and good planning is essential for the mission. The 4-point roll shows the precise control response of the Eagle. Now return to show center to demonstrate the F-15's exceptional turn capability. In this turn, the pilot will be pressed deep into the seat by a force equal to 8 times his normal weight.
This F-15 here, John, is
configuration.
Impressive thing.
While the F-15 is a strong performer at more than twice the speed of sound,
not a stunt plane, of course. This is a fighter.
Imagine me being one of those Iraqi soldiers with those disc guns. Imagine seeing this thing coming out of the sky for 3 or 4 of them at once.
The announcer said that the Eagle shot down about 380 or so Persian Gulf planes. And the Persian Gulf War, not even a scratch to the Eagle, though.
Okay, for your viewing pleasure at home, the next camera will be done.
To 300 miles per hour and will lower the landing gear and flaps in preparation for landing. He'll hold approximately 150 miles per hour on final and touch down at 130. As he lands, Captain Donovan will use the F-15's large wings to dramatically slow it down on rollout. On behalf of the ACC Commander, General John Michael Lowe, our thanks for being with us today. We hope that you've enjoyed this brief look at your F-15 Eagle and Captain Donovan.
What's going on?
Time, brother. The Thunderbirds are the guys we're waiting for, really. A great show by the F-15. We're bringing you the air show from Quonset Point.
Right now, C-130s are taking off. There's going to be a helicopter attack demonstration.
report to the announcing stand. Steve Cole, please report to the announcing stand. Steve, on the barrier team, please call 405. Members of the barrier team, call 405. Hercules of the Rhode Island National Guard. C-130E model looking to the runway right now. They're going to be returning in just a little while. Two C-130E Hercules aircraft, the 143rd.
Now, what are they going to do? They're going
to participate. There's a helicopter attack coming up. I think that they're going to deploy some sort of crack troops on the ground or something like that, but we'll check it out.
Over to Captain Chris Callahan.
Well, the song's over, but I'll sing it to you. Back in St. Mary's days when I was a Catholic.
The Rhode Island National Guard.
Where are you now?
What are you?
And
I'm a Christian. This is a Christian broadcast on ABT.
All the maneuvers that are going to take place at
Run, I think I hear a nun. Pack up a liquor and run. If a nun should appear, she'll beat you on the rear in the cellar of St. Mary's School.
For our state federal.
Why is that all customer? Welcome to our establishment. Please, no 12 food, one ticket lounge.
You gotta stay here.
What is it, leg wall? Wise? Spell web?
Stay here, Thomas.
Chicky finger? Ah,
Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you've had a chance to purchase one. Ladies and gentlemen, you see after they fire their mission, the two Cobras will break away. They break right to the south. Our 086, you have to take a good look at him as he scoots north and out of the range of the enemy. Ladies and gentlemen, if you look to my right, AH-1 inbound, rocket fire on down. You look to the right, and coming in is a UH-1 Iroquois helicopter. Got some support troops on board. Our initial force is being escorted by another AH-1 Cobra inbound, using rocket fire and minigun to suppress the enemy. Ladies and gentlemen, the voices you hear along with me are actual pilots inside as they conduct this combat operation. Ladies and gentlemen, the UH-1 is setting itself up for an immediate repel mission. Members of the 173rd Infantry Detachment will be our initial ground force today. They'll repel out of the UH-1 and seize the ground for our follow-on forces that will be following in shortly. Look to our front to the UH-1. Repel ropes away, AH-1 with inbound fire, breaking right. Ladies and gentlemen, you notice today we've got a particularly windy day. A lot of safety considerations. Watch our repellers as they descend from the UH-1. Inbound from the right, down low, another AH-1 Cobra with some minigun and rocket fire in to suppress any enemy that might try and attack our repellers as they descend out of the UH-1. On the right front horizon, down to the south, you'll see first of our C-130 Hercules inbound with our ground forces, our ground assault force. Our elite troops are away. We've got 3 repellers on the ground, coming down to 4. We've got 4 repellers safely on the ground. Our UH-1 will be packing its bags and heading out shortly. To the south with the landing lights on, our combat assault force, that's Rhodey 01, C-130 with the combat assault. We'll offload our initial ground troops with a Humvee on board.
Go on, copy, clear down to clear the landing.
That's it. Push over, ladies and gentlemen.
It's good. Come on, one right slope.
Ladies and gentlemen,
inbound short final, Rhode 01, a C-130 Hercules aircraft of the 143rd Airlift Group.
Land.
We got wheels down.
Cruise inbound.
Ladies and gentlemen, Rhode 01 on the ground, hits the brakes. Reverse thrust and the third overlap.
30 seconds.
And as you heard, Rhode 02 is inbound. Look for the rear door of the C-130 to unload. As our forces unload from the C-130 Hercules, you'll notice our AH-1s continue to provide our forces that are deploying out of the C-130. Descending out of the rear of the C-130, our initial combat assault force opposed to forces from the 173rd Infantry Detachment. The heartbeat breaks left to our north, out into the battlefield area. All those soldiers, Rhode Island Guardsmen, wearing their rucksacks. AH-1 Cobra was inbound with number 5. As our ground troops deploy, they take cover to the ground. Our AH-1 inbound with some more cover. Rhode 01 will not take very long to take off. Ladies and gentlemen, in a vulnerable position, Lieutenant Colonel John Horrigan and the men on board that C-130 will be taking off soon. Rhode 02 is inbound. If you look to our south, our far right, at about 2,000 feet, here comes Rhode 02. Rhode 02 is inbound to our south. You'll notice the rear door is down. Their mission today is to do what we call a CDS mission, a cargo delivery system. On board are supplies for our ground troops.
Our defense tower and the fleets are coming open.
Ladies and gentlemen, you look to the rear of that C-130, the door's open. We'll stand by and see if they can get that cargo away. Ladies and gentlemen, our right front, 1, 2, 3, 4, our cargo delivery system packages are away. Looking, the navigator on board, as well as the crew members, have stretched the wind and have moved that cargo successfully within 200 yards of the target. How about that for Rhode 02, ladies and gentlemen? Ladies and gentlemen, you'll notice that our cargo has been successfully dropped. We've got our ground members moving over to pull that all together, to pull that small force together. As we reconfigure, I'd like to take an opportunity to tell you a little bit more about the Rhode Island National Guard and the folks number 1.
Pretty good. I mean, that's our national defense in action. National Guard, defense, whatever you want to call it. It's all war and dying.
From the 1st to the 126.
This is what we pay taxes for, to live free and rich. And
today by
do what we want to do.
Not free, not necessarily rich.
Lieutenant Lori Ludovici, the 1st Rhode Island National Guard.
We're here on ABT.
The Army Guards.
Appreciate you watching. And support the National Guard and support the armed forces of the United States. They're all we've got, and they're the best in the world. We saw some of it in action down here. And we will be seeing.
Your children are at the announcer stand. Please say so. Please come by and pick up your gifts. If they fly by and salute all of you folks out here today. Thanks for being with us.
Copy, you're right there, one place.
For their overhead pass, breaking left. They'll drop the gear and come around for their landing gear into the runway 34 here at Quonset. Michael Rose, your daughter, for going standing, please stop by. Jonas and Eddie, please come to the...
ABT, the voice of a generation.
Before landing, check complete, leader.
Charlie, don't surf! I say it's safe to surf this beach! It's safe to surf this beach!
You look like the mayor.
They'll make a quick stop landing for us. And they'll be taxiing in.
Staging is good. Leader.
Will be turning his nose over. And Rhode 01 is rolled, so turn their nose. As our helicopters hover into position, we'd like to remind everyone that this demonstration that you've just watched has demonstrated the capabilities and professionalism of your citizen soldiers and airmen of the Rhode Island National Guard. Remember, this exercise could have easily taken place anywhere in the world with the exception that real bullets and missiles would have been used. Let's give a big hand for all of our assets, ladies and gentlemen. The Rhode Island National Guard, here for you.
One city, gentlemen. Return to park. Thank you. Leader 1, 2, now. All aircraft are cleared to return to parking.
Alright, we're going to be wrapping up here from Quonset Point, the Rhode Island National Guard Air Show today, brought to you by ABT and Cyclops Entertainment. I'm Peter McGowan.
And ladies and gentlemen, around...
I got to sit. Thank you.
We're waiting for the Thunderbirds. This will be the big part of the show. This is why we came here. The Thunderbirds are world famous. John, these announcers, man, I don't know if I can wait for the Thunderbirds putting up with these guys. If you want to listen to them, listen. But get them. Get them. Yeah.
The only thing that I really want to say, there's always buildings for talent. I don't know if there were more spots. And there's still more spots. One more person to say thank you for 1993 air show. Please come down to the white line now as we turn the microphones over to your United States Air Force Thunderbirds.
Hi. Coming up very soon, very shortly, are the United States Air Force Thunderbirds. You hear the music, that's their motto, their theme music.
Ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Quonset.
And we've had to put up with these guys all day.
National Guard Air Show 93. And today's demonstration by your United States Air Force
Thunderbirds. And in his second year as commander-leader of our team, Lieutenant Colonel Dan Darnell. A former F-15 fighter weapons school instructor pilot, Lieutenant Colonel Darnell joined the team after a tour at Langley Air Force Base, Virginia, where he was Chief of Weapons and Tactics for Tactical Air Command. He has more than 3,500 hours of jet aircraft time. Flying left wing, also in his second year on the team, from Las Vegas, Nevada, Captain Jared Rochelle. Prior to becoming a Thunderbird, Captain Rochelle was an F-16 fighter weapons officer at Moody Air Force Base, Georgia. He has more than 2,500 hours of jet aircraft time. Now flying the right wing from San Francisco, California, is Captain Matt Bird. Captain Bird is in his first year with the team after serving as an F-117 stealth instructor pilot at Tonopah Test Range, Nevada. He's logged more than 2,000 hours of jet aircraft time. Flying the slot position from Nazareth, Pennsylvania is Captain Jim Evanco. Also in his first year with the team, Captain Evanco joined the Thunderbirds after serving as an F-16 flight commander at Homestead Air Force Base, Florida. He has more than 2,500 hours of jet aircraft time. Flying lead solo in his second year on the team from Naval, Florida is Captain Bob Rogers. Prior to joining the Thunderbirds, Captain Rogers was a fighter test pilot at Eglin Air Force Base, Florida. He has more than 2,500 hours of jet aircraft time. In his first year with the team, flying loading solo from Fort Collins, Colorado, is Captain Pete McCaffrey. Captain McCaffrey joined the Thunderbirds after serving as an F-16 instructor pilot at Air Force Base, Arizona. He has more than 2,500 hours of jet aircraft time.
Alright, there's some F-16Cs coming up, John. What are they all about?
50 feet long with a 30-foot wingspan.
50 foot long with a 30-foot wingspan. We're waiting for the Thunderbirds. Thunderbirds' 40th anniversary this year. They were named after the Ford Thunderbird, right? No? Well, Goodwill and Peace. I don't know, the whole bit. They're
Say you don't have a clue, and then I can bring it right next to it.
I don't have a clue.
DHL.